All right, folks, we're going to go ahead and jump right in. On Firefly, we have been super busy developing a couple of products for more than a year. Both of these things have been in development at some stage for more than a year. And Rebecca and I are here to bring them to all of you. So we have an AI-powered chat solution, and we also have a direct mail system designed for lead gen and designed directly for integrators. So that is what we're here to talk about. Our I'll do a quick introduction. Rebecca will do the same. We'll talk about roles and responsibilities. I'll talk super briefly about the role of innovation from our perspective here at One Firefly. And then we're going to jump right in to Concierge IQ, which is our AI chat human hybrid solution, Luxepost, our new marketing system to help you all drive leads. And then we'll wrap up and we're going to take any Q&A. So we have a tremendous amount to cover. So what you're going to notice is, to the best of our ability, we're going to move fast. You guys know me. I'm Ron Callis, CEO founder here of One Firefly. And I live my life very much by design. I do the things that I enjoy doing, which means I spend a lot of time working with our sales and account management team, working with our clients. I'd say that's a big chunk of my time. And I also spend a good chunk of my time in product development, working with our team, our leadership team, as well as all of our product managers and staff, and soliciting feedback and inquiries from clients, and ultimately developing what is new or how we can innovate our products. That's where a lot of my time gets spent. So I'm very excited to talk to you about the two topics today. Rebecca?
My name is Rebecca. I'm the corporate marketing lead here at One Firefly, so I oversee all of One Firefly's marketing activities. And as we've been preparing to bring these new products to market, I have spent a lot of time also working on the development, messaging, ready to bring them to you guys. And so I'm also really excited to be here. Just wanted to go over a couple of quick housekeeping items. Our chat is open, our Q&A is open. Please drop your questions and comments in there. I will be collecting those so that we can do a Q&A session at the end. Additionally, as Ron mentioned, we have a lot of content, so we're gonna move fast. But I will be sending everybody the recording of this tomorrow along with the deck. So look for that in your inbox. And if you don't see it, please feel free to reach out and we'll send it to you directly.
Awesome. So I had mentioned innovation, and I just wanted to give you kind of a little perspective on where this is coming from. You know, since the very foundation of One Firefly, and actually what was the predecessor brand name was Firefly Design Group, it was really born out of listening to the marketplace, listening to the business owners and operators around their pain points, and then ultimately trying to invent new approaches to solve those those issues, to provide value. So that's where the entire business was born. And that's what we very actively do. I mean, whether you're giving feedback to your account manager, or your SEO strategist, or your salesperson, or you're giving it to me directly, or maybe you're giving it to Rebecca when you cross paths at a trade show. We take all of that feedback. We try to be great listeners in terms of what's working, what's not working, or what other challenges you have in your business. And then we go back to our workshop and we really take it seriously to try to determine, can we improve the service that we offer, or do we potentially need to invent new services? If you look at a lot of our product stack up and down the line, a lot of those services, many of them are fairly unique from what you'd find at any other marketing agency. And that's because they were born out of sole focus on serving our customers and serving our industry. So what we're going to talk about today is very much in alignment with that. So the first item we'll talk about is Concierge IQ. And for those of you that are Lead Concierge clients, we'll get into all of this. This is designed as the replacement for Lead Concierge. And then you can say, well, why didn't you just advance Lead Concierge? Why did you create a new name? And that's what will hopefully help you understand here pretty quickly. I'm going to pull a few things off my screen here just so I don't have distractions. But I'm going to keep the chat open just so I can see if you guys ask questions. I can see what you're typing. So admittedly, within the live chat universe, there are three types of audiences that are watching this webinar with us live, or maybe you're watching the recording. Number one is that you are an existing Lead Concierge client. So we have hundreds of clients across North America that are running Lead Concierge, been running it for years. That service has been with us for almost 9 years now. And we're going to talk to you. There's also maybe your business is currently using a chat service, whether human-driven chat, maybe your team is doing the chatting, or AI chat services. You're certainly tuned in and leaning forward. I think we'll be able to speak directly to you. And then maybe you've never had human or AI chat on your website and you're curious as to, well, why would you even bother? We'll give you some things to consider as to why it's in your best interest. If you look back in our history, we started this concept of Lead Concierge. That was our human-driven chat service. We provide that service today to many of you that are logged in here listening. And why did we create that? Well, we launched that in 2016 because even in 2016, we had been building websites, doing branding, doing marketing for many, many dealers across the world and throughout North America. And we were seeking a method or mechanism as to we could better help you understand what value was being created and thus extracted from your investment in marketing services. And the net result of all that research, net, pun intended, was that we wanted to put a net on your website. And that net was a chat agent that programmatically can pop up and ask the visitor on the website if they'd like help with anything. Do they have any questions? And what our research showed, and now our evidence across the marketplace shows, is that if you put a real-time reacting agent on a website, you're going to get significantly better chat interaction capture from the website. And I'm just going to compare that or contrast that to people that might see your phone number and they might give you a call, or they might go to the form on your website and they might fill that out. When you put a chat agent on your site, you're going to be capturing a lot more of that traffic. And then ultimately, some of those traffic are legitimate leads. Some of those traffic are customer service issues. They're your existing clients and they need help. And then some of that is just the normal noise, dare I say garbage sometimes, that is visiting your website, filling out things. Well, ultimately, we deemed that it's best if we could deliver sales and leads over to the sales department, service over to the service department, and other to some other member of your team, maybe you, that wants to filter through that and determine is something valuable that needs to be fielded. So that's the why this concept, that's why we moved forward with this concept back in 16. Since then, we're very proud of these stats. We've generated over 52,000 leads for integrators that have been working with us. We've saved our dealers countless hours, 16,000 hours, and we're talking just specifically about live interaction time where our agents have been interacting on behalf of our clients, and tremendous volumes of service requests. So we're very proud of the foundation that Concierge IQ is built on. But at the same time, because we have been listening, you as our clients, you've given us feedback. And so one of the topics, I'll just rapid fire go through them, is that the amount of time from the chat interaction on the website to you and your team receiving that form, there were opportunities to make that more expedited. And so we completely agree. Manual handoffs, meaning that when you have a chat interaction on your website, what would happen when Firefly land, and it happens today even with Lead Concierge, is that there then would be a manual handoff from that chat interaction to that lead or service request ultimately being sent over. And so it requires a technology change, a tech stack change in order to make that automated. Limited reporting, minimal knowledge base updates, the idea that what are the answers the human agent or future AI, what are the answers that are being given to the visitors on your website? There's an opportunity to make those far more robust. And then the lack of automation and speed. The idea that those knowledge base not only need to be great on day one, but they also need to be great and in fact improving over time with proactive management. And the interactions when somebody visits your website, it's better when it's immediate. Meaning if someone asks the question, they don't have to sit and wait 30 seconds. They don't have to wait a minute. It's much more powerful if they get their answer right away. So this was some of the feedback. And in our opinion, with all of the changes in the world happening with technology, changes happening with AI, growing, I'd say awareness, knowledge, and experience from our clients, there was opportunities to improve this product. And so that's actually why more than a year ago, when Firefly started the R&D effort to invent what would be new. We listened to your feedback. We listened to our internal team's feedback. The tech, again, has changed. And yes, you can't dodge a news article or a TV show without someone talking about AI. So AI is here. So the opportunity was for us to overall rethink, reimagine how we were approaching delivering not only sales support on your website, but really the entirety of the customer experience. Thinking about how to raise the bar in the way that the visitors on your website are experiencing your brand, understanding your brand voice, and understanding far more depth of your capabilities around your business, around your services, solutions, your brands, your service areas, the types of projects, your processes. All of that now can be built into a robust knowledge base where both the human and the AI have access to that better information. And we're very proud. We did just pick up some hardware from Cedia. So Rebecca, congratulations to you and our team that drafted that response. We received the Best in Show for Concierge IQ, which is pretty cool. So what exactly is Concierge IQ? It's leveraging a proprietary, custom configured AI knowledge base. You can think of leveraging machine learning, natural language processing, database development, all those fancy terms. I promise the product is not scary. But the idea is there's all of this new tech that we could leverage to help chat on your website be more accurate and more timely. It's a hybrid model. We still believe at One Firefly that the human, the empathetic role in the human in the equation is still valuable, valuable to you. You appreciate that. And some of your web visitors will appreciate that. I'm also going to say something maybe controversial. And that I think over time, less and less and less visitors on your website are going to demand that. Because I think at the end of the day, what they're going to want is accurate, timely responses to their questions. And if you're able to give them that, then whether that is technology giving that to them and or the human giving it, that ultimately elevates the way you're presenting your brand online. The custom knowledge base, when Firefly is not only using proprietary AI and methods behind the scenes, but we're also leveraging and continually improving the way that we design and capture the knowledge base, i.e. the digital footprint or fingerprint, if you will, of your business and the way that you're going to interact on your website, the way that people are going to interact on your website. And so we're very proud of where that is. And I'll be telling you here in a few minutes about the pilot that we've launched and the feedback and how we're continuing in a improvement cycle, making that better, stronger, faster for all of you. And then real-time chat delivery, meaning when someone interacts on your website, there are no more delays. So as soon as they finish that interaction via the hooks and the technology we've set up, that immediately gets sent to the designated people on your team. So Concierge IQ is really this wonderful hybrid of AI, humans, and a robust knowledge base that is making the experience visitors have on your website ultimately much better, which we think is going to drive more business for you in terms of lead gen, drive more satisfied customers in terms of customer service, and provide you better filtering to your team or whoever's going to be fielding these incoming chat transcripts, so that the right person on your team can handle kind of the other stuff that otherwise maybe too much time might be spent fielding. So if you've never had human chat, Lead Concierge, or AI chat, just here's why you'd want to consider putting a chat agent, we think Concierge IQ, on the website. And that is that you're going to, and you can take a screenshot of this, and/or we're also going to offer you the ability to receive this deck post-webinar, so you don't have to scribble down all of your notes. But ultimately, it's about capturing more of the value that's on your website. If your website already naturally, even if you're doing no marketing, they do see your vehicle driving down the street, or they do see your literature, your business card, and they see your website. And so people go and visit your website. If you do invest in marketing, then you likely have hundreds, if not thousands, of visitors every month on your website. And it is wise, we would advise, for you to consider increasing the probability of capturing that value off of your website and delivering them a better experience. So it is a matter of giving them fast, immediate, accurate responses. They appreciate that. And what's really neat when you add AI into the equation, and this is very new, is you now get to have a system that's operating 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So just keep in mind, Lead Concierge today is a business hours solution. And we do offer that through the weekend. So it's 5 days or 7 days. But when you move into Concierge IQ, you're now having that support for visitors 24 hours a day. Just a lot of powerful motivators. Now, if you are running a chat, human chat or AI, from maybe you're manning it yourself, members of your team, and or maybe you've tried to leverage some off-the-shelf tech to do AI, here's what often are some of the limitations. Often they are limited in terms of your knowledge base with a one-time setup. You scrape your website. It means your website content better be perfect and fully represent everything that anybody would ever need to know, or any FAQ question they might ask. It's often static and unmanaged, meaning that it's a set it and forget it standpoint. For AI only, we believe that that's a risk, because there might be visitors on your website that might not want to interact with AI. Now, I'll put some of your concerns at ease. We've been running pilots since July, and we've actually not found that to be the case. So we have not had feedback either on our own corporate site at One Firefly, which is running Concierge IQ, and or our pilot clients, that people are resisting. In other words, those human handoffs, they do happen, but they don't happen as often as you might think, which is interesting. And then the do-it-yourself. One Firefly is an outfit that when you come to us, we're going to take a lot of that weight off your shoulders. We're going to make it easy for you. So if you appreciate that, you would work with us. So the knowledge base that we're designing and building on behalf of your business is a curated knowledge base that is actively managed by One Firefly, that you can rest assured if there's a negative interaction, meaning the visitor did not like the way AI responded or did not like the way the human responded. Number one, they're allowed to grade it, thumbs up or thumbs down. For all of those thumbs down, we are collecting and curating them as they come in, and then we are proactively bringing those back to you to solicit, how would you like that answered next time? So that your knowledge base managed by One Firefly is getting better, faster, stronger every month, every quarter. And that human hybrid approach, I can promise you, as you look across the landscape, this is very rare. People have either stayed in the legacy past of human only, or they've gone fast forward to the future and they're AI only. And we think there's a sweet spot where the human absolutely still has a role in the life of our business at One Firefly and in the life of providing great customer experience on your website. And it is fully managed. So we are all the behind the scenes, all the difficult technical bits we're taking care of for you to make easy. Now, if you're a Lead Concierge client, that's our service that we've had since 2016. There's a very sharp contrast between what was and what is, what is going to be with Concierge IQ. So Lead Concierge, passive approach to knowledge base updates, meaning we were not proactively bringing the negative interactions to you and architecting new answers. Concierge IQ, it's built in. By the way, that function is a human-driven function. Those are people on Team One Firefly collating that information, bringing that back to you, dialoguing with you about how to make it better. And we've committed to staffing that on an ongoing basis because we believe that is ultimately what's going to make it powerful and strong for you so that your brand image is perfected over time online. Lead Concierge, some of the chat summaries could be delivered slowly to you, less than ideal, certainly not real time. The new system, it is real time. As it happens, it gets sent out. Inconsistent speed and accuracy. Why? Because you have a human chatting, a human flipping to the book where your knowledge is stored for us, ultimately grabbing the right answers, dropping that back in. By the way, what I just described is the way any human-led chat works, if that human doesn't automatically know the answer. Whereas now with AI first, both the AI has immediate, at the speed of light, access to your knowledge. So do the humans on One Firefly, the agents that are operating if there's a handoff. They also have access to the same knowledge base. And it is behind the scenes being forwarded to them with AI polished. The AI has gone to the knowledge base, scoured all of your information, pulled the right information forward. The human can modify it, customize it if they need to, and ultimately deliver that to the person on your website. It's a wonderful hybrid. And then it is limited to business hours, where in an AI world where you have AI and human hybrid, we now get to deliver world-class experiences to the visitors on your website 24 hours a day. 7 days a week. So here's what a couple of those sales funnels look like. So if there's a lead or so, you've gone out, you've done a great maybe lunch and learn event, and maybe that architect is saying, "Hey, I've got a project." Well, ultimately, if they land on your website, and you will be surprised, they are going to interact with the chat agent on your website, even if you think they're supposed to call you. Well, when they chat, and we deem through the dialogue that there's a project, that now real time gets sent over to your sales team to field that inquiry. At the same time, there's traffic on your website. Hey, my speakers aren't working correctly. Oh no, what do we do? I know they were supposed to have called your tech support line. They did not. They are on your website, and now they're going to have the immediate gratification of an entity, an AI or a human chatting with them in order to collect their information and get that real time over to your service department. Now you have a much happier client. And now you have some things on your website that you just maybe don't want to field. Now, maybe that's a person looking for a job. You probably do want to field that. Or maybe it's a sales rep that wants to come in unscheduled and say, "Hey, I'm going to drop by the shop." Or maybe in this example, they're asking for a service, maybe that you don't want to take the time to field. Do you sell HDMI cables? No, go to Best Buy, man. So they're going to chat, and we would categorize that potentially noise. Now, that statement that it's noise, that's subjective. We do not apply that to you. Through our onboarding process, you will communicate to us what you do want and what you don't want, and thus this concept of noise. And now we've filtered that. It does get sent over, but you can then decide not to field that or field it in the way that's in alignment with your brand voice. And then we now have the human support handoff. So you have, "Hey, can you connect me with an agent?" They've gone through it. Maybe they just want to go right to the human, or maybe they had an interaction. It's given them information and now they want more depth, and they want that depth to come from a human agent. It's a seamless in software handoff, so that what happens is now our agent jumps right in there into the same chat stream, and they say, how can I support you? And what's really neat is they have access to all of the dialogue that's happened in advance. So they are fully aware of the previous conversation. They understand where it's at. And now the visitor on your website feels the benefit of that empathetic interaction, right? And that is a very much a differentiator for the way that we're approaching Concierge IQ. Now, I'm going to give you a quick example here. Rebecca actually shot this video just a day or so ago. One of our pilot clients is Domes out of Virginia Beach. And what you're going to see here on the screen is Rebecca here is interacting. She said, by the way, she's already logged in. She's already given her name and email address. And it says, hey, how can I help you? She says, I'm looking to redo lighting in my home. Do you sell lighting? Boom. There's now an instant comprehensive answer that gets delivered. And what can happen next? Actually, I'll let you, I don't want to steal the thunder here. Was that helpful? Yeah, you answered my question. That's great. Now we're going to say, great. Do you have more questions? Right? So we're designing logic flows so that the person's inquiry is getting answered. And ultimately, we're serving that up. We're grading our response because we want to know if it's working or not working. And then we are allowing them to continue that dialogue. What you see up here on the left is this is the actual automatic lead reporter chat interaction that was generated from the website and received by the client real time. So that's what's really neat here. There's no more delays. So what is the fee for, or the investment for Concierge IQ? If you are not in a buying group, this is the investment, $659 a month. And the first month of the service covers the setup of the service. There's actually quite a bit of building that needs to happen in order to launch you. Now, if you are in a buying group, your price is better than this. So if you are in ProSource or Azione or HTSA, then you are receiving a better price than this. Reach out to us and we'll give you that a better price. If any of you are out there and you're doing at least $1 million a year in revenue and you're not in a buying group, give us a call. Let us get you pointed in the right direction. You probably should be in a buying group. There's a lot of advantages to being in groups. Now, for my lead concierge folks, if you transition to Concierge IQ, we are not charging a setup fee and there is no change in price. So I saw some of you sweating bullets there for a minute going, I don't want to pay more. I want you to know that we appreciate your business. We appreciate your loyalty to One Firefly, and to transition into Concierge IQ, there's no price change. So that's a small gesture of thanks from us to you. And we know you're going to love Concierge IQ. So we want you all to ultimately transition into Concierge IQ. What does that process look like? There's a consultation with our team where we are then going to work on building out your knowledge base. We will launch the AI, and we call it in a sandbox. We're not going to put this live to the world. It's in a sandbox so that you and your team can interact with it, make sure that it's answering on brand and within the voice that you want, with the types of answers that you want. And then with your green light and approval, we update that and take that live on the internet. So now you have a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week customer service solution on your website with human handoff if and when the customer. I already see some people saying they want to upgrade. I appreciate that. I'm going to take you to that slide now. Here's a couple, well, a slide or two, I promise. So this was Jeff over at Domes AV. He said it was impressive, particularly impressed with the speed of the responses. There was little to no lag, which I find incredibly annoying. I promise you, we've heard that feedback from you because there's a human looking up answers and putting those in. No longer necessary. I was also impressed with the responses it provided. I asked about shades in the sunroom and about lighting fixtures. Here's also the neat detail. Everybody listening, lean forward. If you like or do not like the answers, you are in full control to make it better, both on day one and on an ongoing basis. That is the revolution. And that is that we believe your knowledge base, the way that you're answering on your website, should always be improving. So not only have we built the tech stack to enable that, but we built the human and the accountabilities and the allocations of people to be looking through that data and then correspondingly interacting with you to get that improvement enacted into the AI, into the knowledge base. Ryan over at Lavish Automation in Northern California. Overall, I like that if it asked the right question and it understood, it would give me direct links to the website. So maybe someone's just saying, hey, do you do lighting control? And if you have a lighting control solution page on the website, as odd as it is, it becomes another navigation path to simply visit the content on your website. And we're actually seeing a lot of this. And so now in everyone's knowledge base, we're inquiring to you during the knowledge base build out, do you want the answers to kick people back to all the network of content on your website? Do you have Ketra products? Oh yeah, we have it. Here's the page. Ryan really loved that new feature. So here's the catch, team. We are throttling how many clients we take on. That we're still early, meaning that we can't serve everybody all at once and get you converted. So we will accept new clients if you're never used Lead Concierge, and we will convert Lead Concierge clients, but we're taking you on a first come, first serve basis. So if you want to be accepted into the pilot, and what we're going to do is be throttling approximately 10 setups per month starting October. And so scan this QR code. Rebecca, there's a form at the end of that code.
There is a form. I also just dropped the link in the chat if you want to follow it through there as well.
Rebecca needs a bonus. Jason, I totally agree. And Rebecca earns that, oh my goodness, every single day. But yeah, she's amazing. There you go. I see a few more were interested. It's awesome. Appreciate the love and support, folks. I promise you, we've been very hard at work on this and excited to get it in all of your hands. All right, I'm switching gears and I know I am time constrained, so I am going to keep rocking. We're now going to subject number 2. This is Luxepost. All right, we're going to launch this with some polls. Rebecca's going to help me out. So I'm going to read the poll question. I would love your participation. How do you stand out in a crowded digital world? Let me just make sure. How do you stand out in a digital world? The concept, actually, the next one is the poll question, correct? All right, I saw Rebecca going,
that is correct.
Don't do that to me.
Not yet.
All right, so you are, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm trying to get all this done within the hour because I know you have a next meeting, everybody. All right, so the concept is you might be sending email, you might be active on social media. I have a little secret for those of you that are actively posting on social media. If you are not actively spending ad dollars on social media, then actually very, very few people are seeing anything you're posting on social media. About 1% of the people that follow your pages on social media actually see your organic posts. Okay, and then you look at all of the changes in Google page 1 and the changes with AI. Okay, there's a lot changing in the world in the digital sphere. So we're keeping that in mind as we develop Luxepost. This is the real question we're asking you. How many of you would be interested in a marketing tactic, a tool, an instrument that drives high quality leads? Okay, if a lead comes in, it's probably legitimate. Let's see how many give me a no. No, none of you want bad leads? Well, it's almost like I knew what you were going to answer. Doesn't feel fair. Come on, we're at 50% participation. Few more of you want to weigh in on this. Would you be interested in a high probability lead generation marketing tactic? Going once, going twice. Rebecca, do you want to share the result?
There they are.
All right. All of you said yes, please. Okay. We thought you might. So now we have one more question. And this is, and Rebecca, I don't know if we set up this way, but it should be a multi-select. What
It is a
criteria?
multi-select.
Thank you so much. Of course, I never doubted you, not even for a minute, not
I
for a
know
second.
you didn't.
What criteria makes a lead high quality in your eyes? Check the boxes, everything that applies, if you would call it a high quality lead. Answers are coming in slower here, so I'm assuming that means you're reading.
There's a lot of choices they got to look through on.
There are. I'm really surprised no one is selecting someone who wants me to set the clock on the VCR. That's not a good lead. Is that not a good sign? And the VCR is getting zero love, Rebecca.
Oh, that's because Bob says there's no time for that. Oh, somebody gave us a little. Go ahead and
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think the internet froze. I don't know if it froze for you or me, Rebecca, but you're back, and I was almost going to panic.
I know. Sorry about that.
That's okay. All right, so here's the answers. High net worth, yes. In my service area, yes. High-end neighborhoods, it's a plus. You park your van in front of that job. It's really neat because you might get the neighbors. High home values. Yep. They're interested in your products or service. Okay, someone gave the VCR some love. I want to know who that is. We're going to look that up later, but I'm not going to call you out now. So we understand the challenges are the digital strategies that many of you are practicing. By the way, you still need to do those things, but there's noisy because you're trying to stand out. If you're doing an email strategy, by the way, email is one of the best tactics for small businesses in the service space. So you should be doing active email marketing, but every single email doesn't go opened, right? And there's competitors in your marketplace doing a lot of these things. For example, if you're trying to do SEO, Stephen Douglas said the VCR may have been me. All right. Sorry, Stephen. I said your last name, so I did just call you out. But that's okay. Thank you for giving the VCR some love. And so there's market competition. So particularly if you're in like a keyword strategy where you're trying to get placed on page one of search in Google Ads, the more competition means the more you're going to pay per click. And for SEO, then ultimately the more competition in your market, it just means you got to stay very active and proactive to stay on that page one. Because on Google, you really want to be at the top of page one. If you're not at the top of page one, then it's a cliff drop off of the amount of clicks or traffic driven to your business. So we understand that. We've heard the feedback from all of you in terms of what you want, and we're very excited to launch Luxepost. Luxepost was born out of dozens of our clients over the last couple of years saying, can you please do this? I'm using other vendors. I'm doing it with people that are doing it fractionally, but they haven't done it the one Firefly way. Will you please go down this lane? We researched it because we didn't do it only based on our clients' feedback. We said, well, let's now go research, is there data to support that this would work? And so we ran that research and it felt overwhelming. Yeah, this is a really smart thing to do. And it's funny because it's like what is old is new again. And I would challenge that at a high level. Many of us saw a drop off in direct mail, education and marketing coming to our mailbox. And I'm going to say maybe right around 2020 and that COVID timeframe. And so there was just really in the last 5 years or so a significant drop off, which means there's an opportunity to appear in the mailbox in the home, in the neighborhood of the person that has that ability to invest in technology. And those mailboxes, frankly, are relatively thin in terms of people leveraging that. So we think the time is now. And we've developed a full turnkey attribution tracking. That's a fancy way to say if they receive it, can we then track that they make contact with you so you can tie that to inbound lead generation for your business? In terms of our approach to this, if you engage us for a territory within a demographic target list, that means we will not offer that to any other business. It is yours for the length of you running campaigns with One Firefly. This is the first time in the history of One Firefly we've offered geographic protection for any services or solutions within the business. Fully trackable, meaning we have designed our landing pages, which are, you'll see here in a moment, we're going to drive traffic from these direct mail luxury postcards into landing pages. We have call tracking, we have form fills, and we have chat agents running on those sites to maximize the ability to attribute and ultimately deliver back to you leads. And then very interestingly, first time that we have now also taken this awesome team we have at One Firefly of account managers, which if think of them as your CMO for your business, ultimately running and managing the execution of all of the work. They are attached to you, even if you're not an ongoing digital marketing or SEO client at One Firefly, for the life of your Luxepost campaigns, so that you have a senior marketing agent that's able to help you interpret what does this mean? What does the data mean? What do the dashboards mean? And so that's a really fun component. Some data that you can go out there and verify, fact check us on. Up to 90% of direct mail gets opened compared to only 20 to 30% of emails, which is interesting. And then luxury brands have re-embraced tactile physical touch points. So I'm just going to give you a case in point. Many of you will relate to this. And that is, if you have ever bought or purchased a nice watch, or purchased a nice piece of jewelry, or you've purchased a luxury vehicle, or you've purchased a luxury, I'm going to say purse. My wife happens to enjoy a few brands and their purses. And so when you purchase from these places, what they are often doing, and I would say at an accelerated rate in recent years, is you're now starting to receive mail correspondence with their new products, their services, events, and you're getting that in your mailbox. And so the time is now where your mailbox, their mailbox, is not overflowing, and there's an opportunity to have your business recognized. 70% of consumers say direct mail feels more personal than online interactions. It's tactile, they can put their hands on it. And hands off for you, high touch for the homeowner. So the goal here in One Firefly style is to make this as easy as possible for you to execute a fully managed direct mail marketing system, meaning the postcards, the landing page creation, the attribution, the tracking, and the dashboards, and the analysis. All of that is Luxepost. So the luxury creative that matches your brand. I did see a question if you can provide your own creative. The answer is you certainly could provide your own artwork or your own imagery. Now, what you see here, what we're going to launch with, we're launching at the very particular direction out of the gate. And then you're going to see that we're going to solicit your input as to the other directions that we take with Luxepost, because this product has the opportunity to continue to expand in the coming months, quarters, and years, which is very exciting. Smart targeting, meaning we are very precisely targeting the high net worth end customers that are most likely to be the type of customer you want to be in front of and that you want to be selling to. And strategic campaign designed to nurture leads over time, meaning we're giving logic and strategy to the messaging in the sequence of the cards. It's not one card that's getting pounded to that same home every single month. We've added strategy. Every postcard in the campaigns are QR coded, and that's how we're doing our attribution tracking. So we're driving that visit or that homeowner to scan that QR code, and now they're going to be driven to a brand specific, message specific landing page where our goal is to convert them. We want to, if they are legitimately interested in this subject matter, we want to capture their information and get that over to your sales team real time to interact and convert. Now, I'm going to get a little marketing science on you. I promise I'll do it real briefly. And that is that when you are a buyer, you are at some stage of decision making. And I'll just say, if you're purchasing a new home and you've never had technology, you're in what's called the awareness phase. You're becoming aware of all of the things that could be put into this home, including a lighting control system, including a motorized shading system, including a surveillance camera system, right? So on and so forth. As you become more educated, you move into the consideration phase. This is where perhaps you're deciding, if I want lighting, do I want a Control 4 lighting system or a Lutron lighting system or a Vantage lighting system or a Savant lighting system, right? So on and so forth. I'm educating myself. And then ultimately, they're going to make a decision. They know what they want, and now they're trying to decide which contractor, which business, which integrator is the business that they are going to hire to install and integrate that technology. So we call this the buyer journey. We have developed messaging that, based on every postcard in the sequence, is tied to a phase of this buyer journey, so that we are dropping the breadcrumbs to ultimately get that home owner to make contact with your business. So we offer either 3-month campaigns or 6-month campaigns, and this graphic helps you visually understand how those campaigns work. A 3-month sequence is around a singular theme. So if you say, yes, Ron, I want to lock down this luxury neighborhood for the next 12 months, you can do that. It means every 3 months, we're going to launch a new theme, and the 1, 2, 3 of the postcards are going to hit awareness, consideration, and decision within that theme. Okay, so you're going to have this deck. You can take a look at it again. You can also reach out to your One Firefly salesperson. They'll help you understand that or explain that further. But I'm just letting you know, we're not just blanketing neighborhoods with the same postcard. There's logic. So here's examples of the styles. So we have dark styles of postcards. We have a light style or light styles of postcards. You get to choose. So we're not choosing this for you, but you can look at the one that best matches your brand. Those clicks are being driven into the landing page. The landing page has already been perfectly and beautifully architected, both with imagery and copy, by the team at One Firefly, specifically designed around the concept of what's called conversion rate optimization, designed around getting the homeowner that does actually land here to feel that, oh my goodness, where have these people been my whole life? They have the answers to my questions. I'm going to make contact. And that's the messaging that you can expect on your landing pages. And the landing pages do get co-branded. Your logo is going to be right at the top. Now, who are we targeting? The reality is, behind the scenes within our access, we have access to all homes in the United States. Everybody that is in the US Census data set, we have access to. So then what parameters are we using to dialing to get to your luxury audience that you want to be in front of? These are the main levers we're using to ultimately whittle down to that initial set of customers that are going to receive your postcards. And that is their net worth, their home value, and their buying power. Buying power is this concept of what is theoretically their liquid net worth that they could invest to make purchases. We put those together. If we did net worth alone and we set that bar really high, maybe we still have 10,000 people in your city. Well, as you'll see, a campaign involves sending out these postcards to 1,500 home addresses. So if we have 10,000, but yet we can only settle to 15, if you'd like, and this is a dialogue, we can use additional levers to try to further restrict that population to be as refined and high probability target audiences for you that would be ideal for your business and the type of customers that you like to serve. And naturally, and of course, using the city, region, territory, area of the geography that is where what you would call your service area. So if you're over here, we're not going to be building audiences that are outside of your service area. We are offering geographic exclusivity. So if you engage us for a 6-month campaign, no other business that even if someone in this webinar comes to us next, it's whoever pulls the trigger on a geography first is ultimately going to be able to own that list of customers. And only if you stopped running these campaigns with us, these Luxepost campaigns, would that audience then ultimately be served back into the general population for someone else to now start marketing to. First time we've ever done this in our almost 18 years in business, but we think it's the right thing to do with this product. Some of you that maybe have been doing your own postcards or you've done it your own way, these postcards are not generic. I can promise you every single detail has been very not only creatively, but critically thought through in terms of the imagery, the messaging, the landing page design, and designing this as a system to ultimately deliver value to your business. We also deliver to you with this system a full dashboard. So now you can actually see where we're at in the marketing KPIs tied to this campaign. And we do all of that for you. We put a bow on it and try to make it as easy as possible. Here are the fees. As you can see, we run 3-month or 6-month campaigns. The investment is $8,875. You're like, Ron, why does it cost so much? Well, because guess what? We're printing and we're paying for postage. And we're paying for postage in this 3-month package for 1,500 homes times 3 months, or times you do get a benefit. We're hitting more homes if you do the 6-month campaign. So 1,750 postcards, that's 1,750 homes. Those same homes being delivered messaging for the entirety of the length of the campaign. So if you run 6 months, then we are repeatedly in front of that homeowner. Why? Because marketing is about repetition. It takes multiple touches. There's lots of science about ultimately how many touches. And guess what? Direct mail should not be the only touch this homeowner, if they're a target prospect for you, could conceivably receive your brand. Ideally, they would also see your vehicles on the street or in the neighborhood. Ultimately, you'd want to be targeting them in some of your advertising through Google or through social media. So through repetition, they're seeing your brand, and that brand reinforcement is helping them ultimately gain a comfort with making contact with your business. If you did want to expand the population of homes, either within a 3-month or 6-month campaign, this is the 2 additional prices you see, $2,700 or $5,400. And I was trying to think, was there anything else that I wanted to mention here? The buying groups. These are the non-buying group prices. So if you are in a buying group, then you can expect that the prices are better than what you see here. So yes, Luke, there are buying group breaks in pricing. And if you are not in a buying group, folks, go find a buying group and join. It is not only with One Firefly, but all of your book of business, you're going to put a lot more money back in your pocket. So, and you're going to create and benefit from a wonderful fellowship of fellow entrepreneurs and business owners that you can learn from. And I would challenge that that's even a greater value than the cash back you get. This product, Luxepost, is launching today, now, with a singular focus on the brand Lutron. And within Lutron, we have 12 themes. Here are the themes, keeping in mind a theme is a 3-month sequence of messaging, right? Yes, you can use your Lutron DMC dollars to help fund these campaigns. Yes, we are going to be launching additional manufacturers. Yes, we will launch additional solution focuses. We seek your input to understand how you want us to expand Luxepost. There's a lot of design and engineering that goes into the content creation for the direct mail cards, the sequencing of messaging, the creation of landing pages, right? And so we are launching with Lutron, and we then want to know what you want next. So those, I just went through the 2 slides with all of the 12 themes. Rebecca, do you want to help me out with next steps?
Yeah, so this QR code, this is the same form that we dropped before, and let me drop the link for you guys again in the chat. And just wanted to say, I know that we covered a lot of information, but we just wanted to give you one form to look at. So this will ask you about all of the products that we discussed here today. None of it except your contact info if you're filling out the form is mandatory if you're not interested in discussing any of these, but do want to give us some feedback either on this webinar or on new campaign themes for direct mail that you want to see. You're free to do that, but please, I dropped the link here. You can follow the QR code and just let us know what you think. We would love to hear any and all feedback from you guys.
Awesome. And if you want a deeper conversation, I'm actually kind of probably work myself into rotation as well to have conversations with you guys and gals as needed. I do see a question here. I know, Rebecca, you're going to field, maybe we'll stay on another minute or two and field additional Q&A. But I do see one here from Stephen. He says, what buying groups are you a part of? I'm thinking you're meaning One Firefly. And When Firefly offers benefits to ASION members, HTSA members, and ProSource members. And so if you're doing $1 million in gross revenue top line, then it likely is financially beneficial to you to be in a buying group because when you're in a buying group, it comes with perks. And that includes preferential pricing from One Firefly and all of the vendors, right? So all of these different groups have different cohorts of vendors that are members, and all of those vendors either offer a new column of pricing for you, or they offer rebate programs or different sort of categories to be rewarded. And I would say that's the low-hanging fruit. The better reason to be in a group is just to be in the training and the fellowship of fellow business owners or people in your peer group that you can learn from. You can help them and they can help you. I'm a big advocate of that type of training. Rebecca, maybe we'll take 1 or 2 more questions.
Yes, absolutely. I know we're right at time. If you need to jump, we will keep recording through the Q&A session and send you the recording so that you can catch those here. You're also always free to reach out to us directly with additional questions. So Ron, I'm going to throw some rapid fire questions at you that we've gotten. Okay. You ready?
I'll do my best.
All right. Is Concierge IQ only available on a One Firefly website, or can this be added to an existing website?
Any website out there, to my knowledge. I don't know of any that we can't deploy it on.
What data would we need to provide for the knowledge base? That's a great question.
What's really neat, if you're a Lead Concierge client, we actually have a really nice start to a knowledge base, and we also have the historical record of all the questions asked on your website. So we actually have a leg up with that cohort. If you've never had chat, then it's just, we start at 0 and we do the onboarding with you, and we're going to have conversations where we collect information about your website. We'll also do additional research. We will look at the information on your website, and we will blend that. We will come to you with very specific questions that we believe are necessary to build out all of the common types of Q&A that someone would likely interact with on your site. The benefit of working with One Firefly is we know the questions visitors on your websites ask because we have fielded tens of thousands of inquiries on your websites. So it allows us to come to the table with a really robust start.
Very good. And then last Concierge IQ question I see here, maybe a little tongue in cheek, but if I previously had Lead Concierge and want to come back, could I still get that Lead Concierge pricing for Concierge IQ?
You'll have to contact me directly and we'll have a conversation.
We'll see what kind of favors you're willing to work. All right, a couple of Luxepost questions. So the themes for Luxepost are not specific to the business. It would be the theme you're currently running, like Lutron is the theme as opposed to a specific business as the theme.
Yeah, within that form, was that clear? Were we clear, Rebecca, that we want people to say within the Luxepost
Yes.
product, what else, what other types of campaigns they would want? We love that input.
Yes, that is correct. So if you go to the form, there is a question on there that's saying for future campaigns, what types of themes do you want to see? This could be solutions like home theater, lighting control, outdoor entertainment. It could be brands like Sony, Savant, Control 4. Let us know any and all that you want to see, and we will build out campaign themes for them.
Yep. Amen.
And then just a couple more questions. I think you answered Bob's, can we provide our own creative already? And then if you just want to briefly rediscuss how targeted can the mailing list be?
I mean, we have tremendous access to all the homes in I want to say all the homes in the United States with confidence. Actually, I'm gonna anyone in Canada that's tuned in. Uh, I know that at one point I knew this answer. I think I've forgotten. I'm showing my age, but I think we also have all of the homes in Canada. But if that's you, then reach out to us and we'll get you an in-depth answer there. But because of that, we're able to look at how many home addresses, ideal customers you want to be in front of in your service area. And what we do is we work with our team to dial that in. We work with our team and our data vendor to dial that into a best list. So I'd say we have quite a bit of control and ability to get it pretty precise.
Awesome. Well, that is all that we have submitted. Guys, thank you for hanging on. I know that it was a lot of content. Oh, wait, got one more if you have a minute, Ron. Where are you getting lists from? Is it a compiled demographic list? And have you tested postcard response rates?
We are actively running. We were running pilots through the summer, and even right now there are active pilots. A great postcard conversion rate to landing page is around 1%, 1 to 2%. And then when you get them off the landing page, you're looking to convert them further. So we are eager to compile the data from all of our pilots. I would say so far the data looks very promising. There are some flagship integrators across the country running pilots with us as we speak. And I would say we're very encouraged with the findings.
Awesome. Okay, I think that is it this time. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us. Ron, you're a champion. I know that was a lot of content to get through in an hour. But any further questions, thoughts, concerns, drop them in the form, email them to us directly. We're happy to take them and spend more time talking about these new products with you guys.
Awesome. Thank you, team. Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.